And welcome everybody back into JNC's podcast. We are back and rolling. It is Jacob. It is Christopher. And we're missing our boy Christian. He couldn't make it today, but we got to keep this show pushing. We got to keep going. So much things to talk about. We got Chris here. We're ready. We have a special guest with us today. We're here to talk about basketball, the playoff games, all the series, the crazy games that's going on. We're talking football, the Jets and Giants with amazing draft picks. We want to talk about everything, the Yankees and Mets, the first two teams with 20 wins. And the Mets are the first team to do it in all of MLB, and the Yankees are the first team to get 20 wins in the American League. So a lot of things to talk about. Before we get into anything else, let's introduce Christopher Muniz. How is your day going, brother? How you doing?
What's good? We living, we working all day, but we talk about sports, and that makes time fly by. So that's gonna be good. Let's get right into it. Oh yeah,
let's get right into it. We here to talk about the playoffs, and before we even start, let's introduce our guest here today. We have a special guest to talk about basketball. Our guest here is a Dallas fan. He knows basketball. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to basketball. Whenever I see him, we talk about basketball, and he just knows what he's talking about. So let's introduce Andrew into this podcast. This is Andrew, all right? Andrew's coming in here. We're going to introduce him in here. And first things first, we do want to welcome him here today as Andrew. Andrew, before we do anything else, can you please pronounce your last name? Because I don't want to mess it up.
It's Acavedo.
Acavedo. So Andrew Acavedo is with us here today. He is a Dallas fan. He knows basketball. Me and him talk basketball all the time. He's a close friend of ours. So thank you for joining us here today. First off and foremost, how you been? How's everything going? How you doing?
Well, thank you for having me, guys. I've been good. I'm dying in this heat in my car right now. I'm sorry if I glisten like a vampire. This video, but I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Good. We good. It is beautiful weather here today. Let's get into everything here today. So we're gonna just ask you a couple questions as our guest, as a Dallas fan, and we're gonna ask you things about the Dallas game. So the first question I asked, Dallas and the Suns, they're 2-2 in the series right now. They're tied.
Yes.
So let me ask you, in your opinion, what does Dallas need to do to win this series? What they gotta do?
To win the series, they just gotta keep what they do in the last two games. The adjustments they made the last two games were perfect. I feel like not playing Josh Green in favor for Frank Ntilikina was a big upgrade. He's playing like 10 to 15 minutes, but that's all they need. He slows down Book. At least Book's not going off for 30, 35. We could live with 20. We're getting CP3 in foul trouble. The turnovers in game 3 were big. And if anybody could just get Luka 20 points, whether it be Jalen Brunson, Finney, he went I think it was 8 for 12 last night from 3. If they can consistently get him points, Davis Bertans knocking down some shots is huge. So if they can keep up and with the hard-nosed defense that they play, that J Kidd has everybody buying into, and and Luka is consistent. Luka's gonna score, but we get at least 20 from another person. Then I think they can continue on it and win in 6. I really don't want to see them in 7 Phoenix. So
that's funny because Chris,
Dallas in 6.
Chris, I think you have a question about that.
I don't know. All I was gonna say was, because before I even get to the question, I like what he said when he said we have to get other people scoring. The last 2 games that they won were his lowest points. I think he had 45 in the first game, 35 in the second.
Yes.
That they lost, and then the last 2 games, both games each, he had 26 points, and they won. You could see that he was getting some help from his team, which he needed. I don't know which question you was talking about, because I got it. All right. All right, who do you consider the number 2 guy in Dallas? Who's the biggest guy you need to have there helping out Luka?
You're gonna get me crucified by my own fan base, but everybody thinks and wants it to be Jalen Brunson. I don't think he's that guy.
Yep. And you're going to jail.
I think he's nice. I think he's developed well under us. Because we got him, if I'm not mistaken, we got him the same draft. We got Luka, got him in the second round, early in the second round. But I don't think he's that number 2 guy for us. Maybe a 3, but I don't think he's the number 2 guy. I don't think he's the number 2 guy, but I value Dorian Finney-Smith more than I do Jalen Brunson. I'm glad we upped him. We got that extension done for I believe $55 million for the next 4 years. He comes through clutch. You know, he's our best defender. He'll guard the opposing team's best offensive threat. And you know, I just believe it in J Kid's system. You know, if we can get, like I said, we just need somebody to get us another 20 points. I'm not a huge Tim Hardaway Jr. fan, but I kind of miss him right now. You know, he can get hot. You know.
Definitely can help in one of those games.
He will get us the 20 we need.
Yeah.
You know, Dinwiddie hasn't been playing really good, but you know he's still consistent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So if we could continue this, I believe Luka doesn't have to score 35 every night. You know, that's what LA has done the last 2 seasons. They let Luka go off because they know they can't stop him. But if they can stop everybody else, you know, then that's where the problem happens.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So I believe if Luka learns to not just try and throw up and play hero ball, and he trusts his teammates, you know, we'll be in a better position.
I'm surprised you didn't say Brunson. That's actually what I was expecting, but you're right. Listen, and it's funny because there was trade talks during the season that the Knicks could have traded for Brunson, and Dallas was willing to move on from him.
Hey, listen, I think we got a nice second ball handler in Dinwiddie. He's a veteran. JB, I'm not sure I want to pay, you know, $100 million for him for 4 years.
I hear you. All right.
When his Villanova teammate just signed a 90-year.
Yep.
He's a better player. So
I hear you. All right. So let me ask you this question as a Dallas fan. Let's see. Do you have Dallas winning the championship this year, or at least making it to the NBA Finals? Do you have?
I have hope. I believe they can. Like, I literally think that, you know, everybody buys into the system. Everybody plays the defense that J Kid has them playing, and I believe, like, you know, I remember me and you talking the day the KP trade happened. I wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's funny because, I mean, not to bring up the Knicks, but I don't think we've beaten them since we did that trade. So
well, we have our own problems. It's okay.
But getting Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans in that deal, I mean, they're 2 veteran players who know their role and play their role, you know? So if everybody could just buy into the system, I think Dallas can go a long way. Do I see them in the finals? I hope so. Realistically, I can see them in the Western Conference Finals against maybe a Golden State.
Yeah.
You know.
I personally have Phoenix winning in 6, but seeing that it's tied 2-2, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm gonna stick with my gut. But
yeah, all these series are tied. I mean, we got 2-2 in Miami as well. Golden State and Milwaukee play tonight. There could be another 2-2 series there. Well, you know, it's all over the place. Real tight. We don't really know. We make our predictions, but it's looking like we really don't know until the end.
Right.
No, it looks great. Let me ask you one more. Then Chris got his next, and then that's it. So let me ask you one more. If Dallas loses the series, who do you think Dallas needs to get to be a championship team? Like, name a player that you got to give up everybody but Luka. Who would you go for to get on your team?
I mean, I think I'm glad we're moving away from the super teams. So I don't think we need another superstar, but superstars do win in the league. You do need superstars. You talked about the Knicks trade in the trade deadline, or even in the offseason. Hey, you know, if you want to throw Mitchell Robinson and some fillers for JB, you know, I like I said, I want people who are gonna buy into J Kid's schemes and play their roles to perfection and what they were brought in to do. So, you know, if we can get another 3-and-D wing, if we can get a really good big, you know, the rumors around is
like
Rudy
that.
Gobert.
Yeah, I like that. So you bet to the Knicks, and now I'm gonna play a game with you, like real quick.
Okay.
If I'm the Knicks and you Dallas, so you say Mitchell Robinson and
I'm gonna play hardball. I want Mitchell Robinson. I want my 2023 pick back, and I want either Grimes or Quickly. You know,
oh no way!
I'm playing hardball.
I'm giving that to you.
No way.
No way! I'll give you Mitchell Robinson, and I'll give you like Alec Burks for Brunson.
I'll take Alec Burks.
I'll give you those two pieces.
I mean, we're GMs. Yeah, I still want my 2023 pick back.
No, you're not getting that pick back.
Come on, bro.
The Knicks ain't even good with picks anyways because we passed on Brunson. We could have drafted him, but we passed on him. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you got Brunson in the future. Kemba Walker. That's who I feel Brunson's gonna be in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, the future. Yeah, okay. Oh my God, Chris, you have one more, and we can go on with this.
Yeah, let me see what it is. It's over here. All right. So seeing where the playoff bracket is right now, and where you might have to face. Let's see. You might have to face either Golden State and Milwaukee if you pass Phoenix, and then
Memphis.
Memphis and Golden State if you pass Phoenix, and then you have those other 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. We don't know what's happening there. Which out of these 6 teams would you be the most concerned about facing, trying to get your chip this year?
Honestly, we're playing the ones I'm scared of the most right now is Phoenix. Honestly, our first 2 rounds are the ones I've been scared about the most. Utah and Phoenix have had our numbers for the past couple of seasons, and we haven't really gotten any good significant wins up until later in this season. But honestly, I feel like back in like 11 when we won our chip, my biggest fear was the first round was Portland, and we took them out, and then we swept the defending champion Lakers. We destroyed the baby Thunders, and then we went and we disrupted the big 3 in Miami. So, you know, I'm not saying they're the reincarnation or the second coming of the 11 team, but you know, if we can get past Phoenix, we got past Utah, we can get past Phoenix. I'm not really scared of Golden State. I'm not, you know, because if all they have to do is contain Steph, and if Steph could get contained, he's the ignition. Like Draymond is the heart and soul. He runs the defense, he runs the offense, but Steph is the one that really gets them into rhythm offensively. Like if he has it going, then they're dangerous. If you can stop them, then, you know, they're going to have their struggles. Memphis, they're still young. Ja, I don't know how serious that injury is, but we've had Memphis, even though they were the number 2 seed in the West, and overall, we had their number this season.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about anybody else in the West. In the East, I don't want to see Milwaukee. Giannis cannot be stopped.
You don't want to see Milwaukee.
I don't want to see Milwaukee. Bring Embiid, bring Harden, bring the Celtics too. I think honestly, it would be cool if we played the Celtics, because I believe Mavs and Boston were the 2 best teams coming out after the new year, and had the 2 best records and has 2 of the best defenses. So that would be a cool story.
Cool.
And you know, you have the futures in the league. You got Luka in Dallas. You got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in Boston.
Yep. It's funny that you mentioned. The Dallas winning that NBA championship, because that was probably one of the best championships ride they ever had. They beat a 3-man team. So with that, I'm going to ask you this last question before we move up out of here. So my last question is, do you think within the next 5 years, Dallas has 1 chip at least? And why do you think that?
I'm going to say, yeah. I'm going to say Dallas has a chip. You know why? Because I believe in J. Kidd. You know, J. Kidd got a bad rep in the coaching community, but he actually unlocked Giannis in Milwaukee. A lot of people don't give him credit for that. He won a championship as an assistant coach, but he was really technically LeBron's head coach in LA. Yeah. You know, LeBron didn't defer to Frank Vogel. He went to J. Kidd. So, you know, he has his chops. Luka's a superstar. I believe Luka's top 5 in the NBA right now. You know, maybe he gets pushed out with a healthy Kawhi back next year. But he's still top 10, maybe top 5.
Far.
You know, our defense is great. Like I said, if we could continue to get better role players, maybe even a superstar, who knows, maybe a Bradley Beal, a Rudy Gobert for that defense to anchor the defense, you know. But I believe so. I believe Luka is too great of a talent, you know. And, you know, I'm a diehard Dallas Maverick fan. Dirk is my favorite of all time, and nobody will ever take his place in my heart. But I can see with the evolution of the game and how great Luka is. He won a championship at 18 in the Euro League. He's been playing since he was like 13, 14 in the pros.
Yeah.
His IQ and his way and feel for the game and the way he makes some of even the greatest defenders look silly. I think he's too great to not win a championship within the next 5 years. I'll give it to the 5th year max.
Listen, I can see it happening. Luka is one of the best, so we really do see it happening. This is for all those Dallas fans that are out here. You got a Dallas fan believing in his Dallas team right there. And the Mavericks winning a chip in 5 years. Andrew, we couldn't thank you enough. We definitely we're gonna definitely reach out to you again after this series is over.
Do.
We're gonna reach out because
especially if Dallas gets to the next round.
Dallas wins, we get you back in here. If they don't win, I'm gonna give you a couple of days so to breathe it in, and then we'll ask you to come back. But we definitely wanted to keep you. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day. Wish your wife again happy Mother's Day, and have a great one. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
My brothers. Thank you. Love you guys.
Andrew, love you too, man. Have a good one. That was Andrew Acavedo. I forgot to pronounce the name. Thank you for joining with us. So before we move on, let's talk about a little bit of the other series, Chris. You have Bucks and Celtics. The series is 2-1 right now.
I got it up if you want me to put it up.
Yeah, you can put it up. We see the series is up there. You can have put on make my life a lot easier. But Bucks and Celtics 2-1 right now. Yeah, look at that. 2-1. You have Miami and Philly is tied 2-2. Phoenix 2-2 with Dallas, and then you have Golden State and Memphis with 2-1. So real quick, Chris, we can fly by this real quick. Golden State and Memphis. John Morant got hurt. He's probably not going to play Game 5. I don't know about you, but I think if he's not playing, I think Golden State probably takes the series. I think they don't have no one to really deal with. Yeah. I think they got him. Bucks and Milwaukee. What do you think?
That one's up in the air. That's the coin toss right there. I think Golden State can take care of Memphis. Honestly, the two coin toss for me, I think Miami can get through.
Okay.
Against Philly, and Golden State get through. When it comes to Phoenix and Dallas and Milwaukee and Boston, those are the two coin flips. We're gonna know by today if Milwaukee can get to a 3-1 lead tonight. Then it's a little less of a coin flip. You gotta know.
Yeah. So this is my thing with that game. So. That game went down to literally a buzzer beater. It went down to the wire. Mm-hmm. And Jason Tatum had his worst performance in his whole playoff career. And they only lost by a little bit, by 1 point, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
So if he actually has a good game, they win that game. So I think this game is still going to be a good game. The problem is that no one cannot stop Giannis. This guy is a maniac. And I don't know. I think at first when Boston swept Brooklyn, I said, all right, I got Boston in 7 against Milwaukee. Since I had that in my head, I have to stick with it. I could admit that I think I might be wrong with this one. I think Milwaukee will take this series, but it was too late. I had Celtics beating Milwaukee. No, actually, I think I had Milwaukee winning, but when I saw them sweep Boston, I was like, I got to take Boston, and I don't like Boston, but Philly, Miami, I think you're right. I think Miami would. I think Miami is a little bit shaken up right now because Embiid did come back the last 2 games, and they're figuring it out, and it's becoming competitive. So I think Miami can figure it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Philly makes it. It actually would surprise me a little bit. Dallas and Phoenix. Phoenix should not even be. I lost my train of thought when you changed it. It changed my whole mindset. I don't know why. Phoenix should not even, on paper, they're a way better team than Dallas. So the fact that they're really trying, they're really like a close game is really surprising. But yeah. Listen, let's move on to the shape of things. Let's get in. If you want, you could just put the main screen for a second, real quick, and let's just talk about this Jet and Giants. Let's get into the football. So. How you feel about your Giants in that draft picks? How do you feel good?
I think New York won the draft all around, Jets and Giants. I do love their picks. Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting them to obviously go quarterback. So as was a lot of teams, wasn't expecting to go quarterback, especially in this draft. We were drafting for the future. I don't think we were drafting for now. This is gonna be where we develop the talent that we got this year and see what Daniel Jones can do, if he can do it, which I don't think he does. But seeing what Daniel Jones can do, and if he can't do it, get a quarterback for next year. But we got an offensive lineman, first round. I want to remember
Evan Neal.
Yeah.
Evan Neal and Thibodeau was your pass rusher that you drafted.
Yeah, the linebacker.
No, he was a
defensive end.
Defensive end. Yeah, I mean, Giants did a good job. You know, they drafted some extra pieces. I think they drafted a lot of nice pieces later on in the draft. They did a pretty good job. I think Giants made a good step forward. And also, you got to remember, Chris, the Giants did not offer Danny Jones his fifth-year option. So they told him, hey, look, buddy.
You're right.
Yeah, they told him, like, look, buddy, you're going to fight for this. You're going to fight for this. We're not going to just give you this contract and you're going to think, okay, if I mess up this year, I'm back next year. No. You got to earn it. You got no guarantee of being a Giant next year unless you prove it. And
right.
Like you said, and like I think the same thing. I don't think he's going to prove it. I think he has a 4 to 6 game window with the Giants.
I said it was 1 to 2. I would, if we start the season 0-2, I would go see what Tyrod Taylor could do.
The reason why you wouldn't though is because he was a 6th round pick, and when he has that high draft capital, you have to use him as much as you can, and to pull the plug. I think he has like a 4 to 6 game window. If they go 0-4, I think you definitely pull him. If you go 2-4, after 6 games, you definitely pull him. You have to. Your schedule is not hard. The odds of you guys winning are 8.5 over and under. Yeah. So you guys should win 8 games, which is crazy to see that you have that. If I was to compare both teams, Jets are probably the better team right now on paper, but
definitely.
you're average to win 8 games when the Jets are 5 wins.
It's all about the league we're in, the NFC versus the AFC. We've talked about it before, and even ridiculous. the Jets, and let me talk about the Jets here, who ended up having 3 first-round picks, if I'm not mistaken. They've traded
3 first-round, but I call it 4 first-round picks because they went Wilson. They went Garrett Wilson they went Sauce. They drafted the Sauce, like I've been saying. They drafted Sauce and Gardner. They drafted Sauce and Gardner with the 4th pick. The 10th pick, they went Wilson. Then they traded their pick and they moved up to the 29th, I believe, or
26.
26, there we go. The 26, and they got Johnson, defensive end. And the Jets haven't had defensive end in a long time. And then early in the 2nd round, they did a trade with the Giants to move up 2 more spots just so they could draft the number 1 ranked running back. So let me explain to you as a Jet fan the excitement that you can have. But then also with that excitement, there's a little bit of room of disappointment because as a Jet fan, something has to go wrong because you just don't expect stuff like this. So the Jets drafted on paper, like on the rankings, the number 1 wide receiver, the number 1 corner, the 2nd best pass rusher, and the number 1 ranked running back, which by the way, that running back, Christopher, was a beast. He went
Breece Hall, yeah.
Breece Hall literally went, I believe it was like 20 or 30 something games. He had a crazy streak that he had a touchdown every game he played. Sauce Gardner never gave up a touchdown in his career. It feels too good to be true. So it's exciting, and I can't wait to see what the Jets are going to do. I can't wait to see how they develop these young kids. But it's also like Zach Wilson, it's all on you.
Oh, it is. He has protection now. He has 2 more weapons because they get it. Did they get a wide receiver? Yeah, they got Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson and Reese Hall.
Breece Hall.
Yeah, Reese Hall. You got Reese Hall who can catch and run the football. You got Wilson. The Wilson combo is going to be insane. So there's 2 weapons for you. You got more protection.
You got Elijah Moore.
You got better defense. And you got Elijah Moore.
Corny Davis. You got 3 tight ends, by the way. I forgot to mention that too. The Jets drafted a Long Island boy, Chris from Long Island. He got drafted to be a tight end. And remember, we picked up 2 tight ends. We picked up C.J. Uzama and we picked up Tyler Conklin. So why they drafted a 3rd tight end? Well, because this tight end is just not a normal pass catching tight end. This tight end is a gritty, hard tight end who can block, who can run routes, who can catch when you need him to. He's an all-around tight end.
This tight end reminds me of Evan Ingram that can block, because Evan Ingram can't block. That's one problem. Evan Ingram
I don't
block.
think his catching skills is as good as Evan Ingram, but he could block. He kind of reminds me of the way Gronk blocks and the way George Kittle is always around the field. I'm not saying he's gonna be like those tight ends. So that'd be great, right? That would be awesome. But those are 2 of the best tight ends probably to ever play with Kelsey. So those are the top tight ends. But he has a little bit of those characteristics that he has those blocking skills and he has that type of hustle like those tight ends. He probably won't be like them, but both teams did really good, and it was happy for a Jet fan. I know for a Giant fan, it was exciting to see the actual GM who drafted an offensive lineman for a while.
We needed an offensive lineman for years, and for some reason the Giants neglected to draft them. I don't even.
Dave Gettleman was just a little cancer inside the Giants organization.
The one time we drafted one was what's his name? Eric Flowers.
Oh God, yeah, that didn't go well.
That was great scouting. I'll tell you
that didn't go well. But listen, the Jets, I was really excited with what they did. I think the Jets had a great draft. I think the Giants had a great draft. I believe the Lions did a great draft. I like what the Lions did. They had Aiden Hutchinson, their hometown kid, and they moved up to get Williams from Alabama, who's going to come back from his torn ACL. He should be back, and technically, if he was healthy, he was actually the best wide receiver on the boards. So he technically is the best wide receiver, but since he was injured, he moved down a couple spots. But still great from the line. I think the Ravens killed that draft as well. They went and drafted the safety Hamilton and then drafted Linderbaum, the center, who I actually kept telling my dad throughout the whole draft, this is who the Jets need to move up to get, which is get Linderbaum to get that more offensive help to help out Zach Wilson, but they got Johnson. So I wasn't really that mad. So it was all right. It was a great draft. So
we're happy on both fronts. Especially the Giants. What I do like about the Giants, they got three offensive linemen. Granted, one of them was a 5th round pick. So usually the 5th and 6th round picks, you never know if they make the team sometimes. Yeah. But I think the other one was a 4th round, which I'm pretty sure they make the team. I believe 1 to 4 usually have a lock. They're usually locked in.
I think the 5 and 7s probably are on the team as well, and a lot of those 5 and 7s end up being stars for some reason. There's always a breakout stars. So it was definitely a great draft. So with that going forward, we saw the draft. So now it's time for what we're gonna call early NFL standing predictions. So this is gonna be our early predictions here.
We're just gonna keep it division.
We're gonna do just division. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the AFC. We're gonna do the AFC North, the East, the South, the West, and then we're gonna move on to the North, the East, the South, and then the West. So we're gonna go through our early predictions. So what we're gonna do, we'll do like a snake. So basically, I'll go first with the AFC North, and I'm gonna go 4-1, and then you're gonna tell me you're 4-1, and then you start with the next one, which is the AFC East. And so you go down the list there. So we'll go down there, and I'll start off first with the NFC North. In the NFC North, my early prediction, the 4th seed of that division will be the Steelers. The 3rd seed will be the Ravens.
It's AFC North. You said that.
AFC North.
Yep. Good.
AFC North. Be Steelers 4, Ravens 3. The Browns will be in the 2nd, and I can't not put Joey Burrow as the 1st seed after what they did last year. So I think Bengals definitely have the 1st seed in that division. What is your order?
I'll keep your 1st and 4th. Browns and Ravens they're a coin flip for me. Like you said, the Browns have a big upgrade in team wise. Just basically their defense is great, and now they have Deshaun Watson, but is he still suspended for a few games or no?
Well, right now they haven't suspended him yet. Right now they haven't.
Let's just say he plays the whole season.
From what I'm hearing, it looks like it could be a 4-game suspension that he's gonna appeal, and it's gonna go down to 2 games. That's what I'm hearing. 2-game suspension. That's nothing.
Let's just say by best case scenario, he plays the whole season. Browns have gotten me hyped. The only reason I say this is that Browns has gotten hyped before for 1 to 2 years in a row with different teams, Baker got in, it was a lot of hype, then they started getting other people, and then it ended up being a flop. If they can take this hype and actually convert it into success, then I'll start to believe more. But because of my past experience where I believed in them, where I believed in them before, and they let you, that's just what the Browns do, though, unfortunately, for a long time. This is not just recently. So until they prove something, which they have the team to prove something, but until they prove something, right now I have the Browns 3 and the Ravens 2.
All right. Who you got for the AFC East?
The AFC East, I got both.
4-1.
4-1. Okay.
Still 4-1. Yeah.
The top two, I believe, I'll say it's hard. I got the Jets and Dolphins coin flip for 3 and 4, only because I think the Jets are slightly better than the Dolphins right now. If the Dolphins have proven progress last year, the Jets have to prove progress this year.
Yeah,
The Jets have to prove the progress this year. The Dolphins proved that they were going somewhere in the right direction last year. I still don't believe in their quarterback, but the Jets have the pieces, and they have to prove it this year that they're going in the right direction. If the Jets could start the season and they look like they starting going in the right direction, I have the Jets 3. Other than that, I have New England at 2 and then Buffalo Bills at 1.
So first, I would say to that is that on paper, Miami is definitely a better team than the Jets all around. So that's gonna go into my 4-1 rankings. Would be Patriots at 4, Jets at 3, Dolphins at 2, and Bills at 1. So I have Patriots as a last seed because, as you know, Josh McDaniels is gone. He's not the offensive coach anymore. He went to the Raiders. So I think Mac and Mac Jones really got exposed against the Bills in the playoffs. They lost 56-0. They got dismantled. He got exposed. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think everybody overhypes him. He is a good quarterback in a good system, but that system, Josh McDaniels is not there no more. He loses offensive coordinator after 1 year. So I think that's going to affect them. I think the Patriots take a big step backwards. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with this. I know they're not going to take it because Bill Belichick is the coach, which I respect the man. The guy's a great coach, probably the best coach in all NFL history. But I think they take a huge step backwards because Belichick has never been in charge of the offense before. He's always been defense. So now that
I see what you mean. If he has to split his time now, focusing on the whole team, then I think that's too much for him.
Yeah, I see a big downgrade in the Patriots that maybe many don't see, but I see them going down, and then Bills are just on a different class. They might just win the whole thing. So they're the number one
Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah, number one. So. They're the number 1 seed easily. I think Dolphins are easily the number 2 seed. The Jets and Patriots are probably going to be a fight for the 3rd seed. But I think Bills and Dolphins definitely top 2.
Yeah, so I'm a little biased with the Bills too, especially last year when I had half their team.
I had
half their team on my fantasy team, and they kept winning the games. So.
It's not even being biased, man. It's just a better team. So AFC South 4-1. This is probably the easiest one to do because it's gonna be true. So I got Jags at 4, Houston at 3, Titans at 2, and Colts at 1. I think it's a no-brainer. AJ Brown got traded. Titans. Ryan Tannehill looks like he's pissed off that Malik Willis got drafted. I'm not here to mentor him. I don't know what that guy's problem is. The Titans are all messed up at this point. Titans are not gonna compete for a playoff spot. Take it as you like it. Colts win the division. AFC South. Christopher, what you got?
Yeah, especially the way the Colts looked last year.
Matt Ryan is in town. A better quarterback than Carson Wentz by far.
Oh yeah, they were looking good even before, especially with Jonathan Taylor. They're just absolutely shredding defenses, and just nobody can contain them. Now, if they add a great passing team, if they have balance between the ground and the air, then it's just that team's gonna be hard to stop. Titans have their problems, like you said, and they're just gonna be all over the place. If they can pick up a wide receiver, or if a number 2 comes out of nowhere,
they drafted the supposedly the next AJ Brown, the same body build, the same type of speed, the same type of catching ability. But it's really hard to say you draft another AJ Brown. It's not, because if that was the case, everyone would be AJ Brown, and then the league would be with the so you would agree with that, with what I said, right? The 4-1.
Yeah, I don't even have to repeat you.
Do the AFC West, Chris. This one we're not gonna agree on at all. We're not gonna agree at all.
This one is really hard. Like these are
the best division by far. Best division.
These are four great. Literally, it's literally what you said. I'm gonna go. I really like the Chargers, so I'm gonna go.
Go 4 first. Go 4.
I'm gonna go Raiders 4.
Okay.
Chargers 3.
Okay.
Cause Wilson in Denver is a big upgrade.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick between Denver, even with how good Kansas City is. But Kansas City has proven too many things in the last 3 years, so I'm just gonna keep them up top and put Denver at 2 and Kansas City at 1.
I knew we weren't gonna agree.
That's not easy to pick, though. That's not an easy.
Listen. I'm telling you what this division is gonna look like. I'm telling you right now, this is what it's gonna look like. At number 4, we agreed on one thing. The Raiders are number 4. Listen, you have Devontae Adams, you have Derek Carr, you're a great team. But no, take it back. You're a good team. You're not a great team. If you was a great team, you'd be number 1. But you're not. You're a very good team. I think in any other division, you're fighting for the second seed probably. Any other division,
they're winning.
You're probably.
I think they win.
You could be winning or
besides maybe Buffalo.
But yeah, so it's gonna be a fight for the wild card. Three of these teams can easily make the wild card. I think 3 of these teams will make the playoffs. So I got Raiders at 4. I got the Kansas City Chiefs at 3. They lost Tyreek Hill. They're getting older. You know, all these teams, these dynasties. You can't count Tom Brady and the Patriots because Tom Brady is just Tom Brady. But all these other teams that have a great team, a great little era, it's a 3 to 4 year gap window. Yeah. Travis Kelce's getting older. You know, once all these guys start departing, now they're going to see what Patrick Mahomes was really about. I know he's one of the top 5. I know he's a great quarterback, but no Tyreek Hill. Now you're going to show us why you consider yourself one of the best quarterbacks. He kind of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. He might have a great regular season and might not be great playoffs, but let's see. So, Chiefs at 3. I got Denver at number 2. I think Russell Wilson on Denver is that team is going to be a beast. That team could possibly win the whole thing. Denver was already built for a playoff championship caliber team, but all they needed was a quarterback, and they got Russell Wilson. So I think this is just, I got to go with the Chargers. I think it's their year. They're going to win the division. They have Justin Herbert, hasn't made the playoffs yet, but he's going to explode this year because he needs to make that playoffs. Not only did they sign the best corner in Jackson, but they got Khalil Mack at the other side of Nick Bosa. So I think they got this. I think it's Joey Bosa. There you go.
Yeah, Joey. Nick is.
Nick is in San Fran. I would get confused. But I got Chargers winning the division. I got Chargers making it all the way up to the Bills. And from there, I think the Bills might win it, but I'm still going to Chargers all the way. I think they win the division. So
yeah, I wouldn't be mad at you. I love Herbert. Allen.
You got Herbert.
Allen's still playing every
Mike
year. Like
Williams signed with the team. Austin Eckler is back there. You have a team to do it, and I just have them winning it. And you know, I got Chargers winning it. So if I go by it quickly, it's Chargers, Denver, Chiefs, and Raiders. We both agreed that Raiders are the last seed, but here's what it is. Now, the NFC North. Mm-hmm. So the beginning part is normal. You know, I got Lions at 4. I got the Bears at 3. But I was really debating if Vikings should be number 1 in this division. They lost Devontae Adams. They really didn't. They got a wide receiver, but Green Bay got a wide receiver, but he's on Devontae Adams. But I just couldn't. I actually wrote Vikings 1 and Green Bay 2, and it just didn't look right. I felt like I was. It just didn't look. So I had to switch. I said, listen, I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers because season Aaron Rodgers back-to-back MVP. It's just I can't. So I got Vikings at 2. I got Green Bay at 1. What you got?
Okay. So it's gonna be Lions, Bears, and even that is a coin flip for me. I like the way the Lions looked at the end of last season.
Yeah,
they had a lot of great weapons. Amon St. Brown, Swift actually stood healthy for most of the year. He had a little bit banged up last year at the end of the year, but because of the amount of usage they had on him last year, and I know because I had him. The amount of usage they put on him, he actually survived pretty well until the end of the year. So if they can take these weapons plus what they gotten in the draft and continue to get better, Jared Goff I don't think he's bad. It's just hard to say that with what he's done, but I don't think he's bad, but I think he can make do with what he has. But right now I keep the Lions at 4. I'll keep the Bears at 3. Still early, season hasn't started. And then Vikings Green Bay. The only reason I don't go against Green Bay, they don't have Devontae Adams, fine. But if you look at the stats, you look at some stats, and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it, but I had it there. Aaron Rodgers in a lot of games threw more yards and more touchdowns when Devontae Adams was hurt and not playing than when Devontae Adams was playing. He was spreading the ball. You look at the game itself. He spreads the ball. He doesn't. I feel like he's not forced to throw it down some wide receivers throw every single play. He's more free to scan the. He's more free to scan the thing. Right now, the only reason that's a little iffy because they don't have a number 1 guy. They have a bunch of number 2s, but I think that Aaron Rodgers is good enough to do it with a bunch of number 2s. At least get to the playoff because for some reason the playoffs.
Do you remember, Chris? Do you remember when Rodgers faced the Cardinals right on the night before your wedding, and we was watching that game, and he didn't have no Adams, no NBS. All he had was Aaron Jones, and he still beat the Cardinals.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's good without the coach telling him that he needs to get the ball to his playmaker, Devontae Adams. Don't get me wrong, Devontae Adams is a beast. But without the coach telling him, you need to get this play is for this player and you need to get the ball to this player, he has more freedom to survey the field and see who's open and get the ball to the right person. He was good. He was good like that too. And as long as he has the protection, which he knows how to throw, with a little heat on him as well, but stuff like that. I just can't see myself putting Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
I felt the same way. And literally, I don't think the coach has much say into who Aaron Rodgers throws the ball to. Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he has that type of control like other coaches do with their quarterbacks. Yeah. I just think that Rodgers was. He loved Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but even himself, like you said,
that
in his
trust
mind.
that he built, he knew if I'm throwing it to him, the chance of you catching it is very high. Like, you're going to catch the ball I throw you. So I understand that. And listen, let's see how they do. We both still have them. This one I like, but you got to start this one. This is the NFC East. Okay. NFC East. Who do you got 4-1?
I think the Giants can make 3. So Washington Commanders. This division is all over the place. We got people who don't know their name. Whatever. Commanders, Giants, Dallas, Philly. I think Philly wins it this year. It's been back and forth between Dallas and Philly the last few years. I think Dallas though, what they did this offseason, what they did in the draft, they have the weapons, they have what they need to win the division. Don't see championships. I mean, Philly could probably make a run with what they have now, but still, I don't like Jalen Hurts. He's a great quarterback. He's good on the stats. He's a good quarterback. I just don't see him being
great.
Not great. But I didn't mean to say great, obviously, because I said I don't like Jalen Hurts. But the fact is that the best quarterback in this division is in Dallas, and they are not. And I don't see. And even with that being said, I don't see Dallas. No more Coop. It's just hard to pick. But Philly wins the division. Dallas 2, Giants 3, Washington 4.
Okay, so we almost agreed together, and you're gonna know where I'm going with this. I got Giants at 4, Commanders at 3. I think all around, I think the Commanders have a better team. And Carson Wentz is probably still the better quarterback at this point with Daniel Jones. It looks like he could be the better quarterback. They're both significantly bad, but I would take the Commanders. I got Dallas at 2 and Philly at 1. You hit all the points. I think Philly with the AJ Brown trade, which another win of the draft was the Eagles because they traded for AJ Brown. But I think AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders behind. Jalen Hurts is probably the biggest question on that team. This is his chance for him to fight for his job as well, Chris. This is his job right here.
Oh yeah.
If you can't win the division or make it past the first round, with this team that is built around you, which by the way, last year they were ranked the number 1 running offense in the game. So when you have AJ Brown, who was with the Titans, who had the best running back in the game, what did they do a lot? Play action, AJ Brown open. Titans were the best team in the division because of that. Now you have the best running game in Philadelphia, ranked from last year, but they still probably are ranked the best running team.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised because Jalen Hurts knows how to run the ball well.
And then you do a play action, and you do all these play action. You have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. You have to hit your guys. So I think Eagles win the division, and I think Jalen Hurts. I'm not gonna say I don't like him. I think he's the second best quarterback in this division, but there's still some things missing with him. There. No, not a lot of good quarterbacks there. But obviously, Dak Prescott is the best all-around quarterback in that division. Yeah. So it's hard to bet against the better quarterback, but Philly's more built all around. I think Hurts got to just prove himself this year. Just prove it. Prove it. If you can't prove it, then for Daniel Jones, we could be saying that next year that 3 out of these 4 teams have new quarterbacks. We could say that Carson Wentz is gone, Jones is gone, Hurts is gone. So for Dallas, you have to kill each and every one of these teams. If Dallas wants to really be the top team for a couple years, you got to kill this division. You have to. Because if you kill Philly's going to let go of Hurts and start with a new quarterback. Mm-hmm. You kill the Giants, that Jones is gone. You kill Wentz, they're gone. And they're all going to draft new quarterbacks, and usually new quarterbacks their first year aren't that great. So Dallas needs to kill this division this year. I don't think they do it. I think Philly takes it. So NFC South, I think it's pretty easy because you just can't bet against this team. I got 4 Falcons. I got 3 Panthers with all their quarterbacks and Sam Darnold. I love it. And then you got 2. You have the New Orleans Saints because they're just a good all-around team. Jameis Winston got hurt. They were playing good. I think Jameis Winston is gonna do good. And then number 1, as a Jet fan, you just can't bet against Tom Brady and Tampa Bay.
Of course, you learn your lesson there.
You learn your lesson. Tom Brady got number 1.
As a Giants fan, we could bet against him, but
yeah. What are you guys in your ranks?
That one is 100%. 100%. I got you there.
Yeah, NFC West, my friend. What do you got?
Okay. So the rebuilding team has to stay where they are. Especially after trading away Russell Wilson. So Seahawks is going to be rebuilding for I don't know how many years. We'll see.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe 1 or 2 years they'll be in the bottom. They're going to be number 4 for a little while. Now this is another good division that is you just don't know. So honestly, this is your team. I know you love your team. I don't see the Cardinals having a better record than Los Angeles and San Fran. San Fran proved that they were a good team last year, especially making it as far as they did. Not much has changed with that team. I believe it's pretty much the same team.
Yeah. So with San Fran, it is basically the quarterback question because they couldn't get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Nobody wanted him. So if they keep him, or they bring in Trey Lance. So that's the only question. Debo, everybody's saying that everyone's reported that he started following his team again on social media. So that means that's going to get resolved. He's probably going to be a Niner for the next 5-6 years. So like you said, San Fran got pretty much everybody besides who's going to be the quarterback. So
I say from 4-1, Seahawks, Cardinals, San Fran, and the Rams. That's my 4-1.
Yeah, listen, man.
That one again is a coin flip because there's 3 great teams.
Listen,
Arizona.
I agree with you. For the first time, I think I had to agree with this one. I have 4 Seattle, 3 Cardinals, 2 San Fran, and 1 The Rams, I think, are by far Rams are a better team. I think they don't lose. They don't lose that division. I think the only battle here is for the second seed. And I like the Cardinals a long time ago. I think they're a good team. I like to watch them. I like to cheer for them. I'm not a diehard Cardinal fan. Okay, I am a Jet fan, but I like the Cardinals. Hopkins out for 6 games. I consider that he's out for 6-game suspension. So I'm considering that out of those 6 games, they probably either go even or they lose 2 to 4. I don't know. I think San Fran is the better team. The only question is Trey Lance. You know, if Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback, I think San Fran easily is the second best team. A lot of people are not a big fan of Jimmy, but Jimmy gets wins, and that team loves him. The whole organization loves him, the franchise, the fans. Jimmy Garoppolo knows how to win. Forget about all this debate and all this talk about he's a bad quarterback. He gets the win. So he's a good quarterback. Trey Lance is my question. So if Trey Lance isn't good, then Cardinals could win the second seed. But Kyle Shanahan, that guy, he's just a master. He's a master in his craft. He knows what to do. They're a great team. You're going to have Debo. You're going to have George Kittle. You're going to have, what's that wide receiver's name? I can't get his, the guy that, I can't remember his name, but it's all right. You're going to have the running backs. You have a great defense. You have Nick Bosa. You have a great defense. They're going to be a competitive team. So, listen, you have Elijah Mitchell. I call him Elijah Missile.
Ayuk is there.
Brandon Ayuk, there you go. Ayuk was the wide receiver. You have Elijah Missile, I call him, because he's just a maniac. A sixth round pick running back who is just a beast. So I think San Fran gets second. I think Rams not only win that division, I think Rams go back to back this year.
Oh yeah,
I think the NFC is just so weak that it's gonna be the only people. There's like 2 or 3 teams, maybe probably Tampa, probably Philly, maybe Dallas, but not much. Maybe San Fran, but I see Rams making it back, and that's our early predictions. Early NFL standing predictions. Now, this obviously will change probably when the season starts because we still don't know what's going on. There could be an injury, like a big quarterback. Like if, for example, if Matthew Stafford got hurt, God forbid, and he's out for the whole season, the Rams go all the way to the 3rd seed, So we're going to give our final NFL standing predictions when the preseason is over with, and we're going to start off and we're going to write those predictions. Obviously, they're going to change based off injuries, but these are our early predictions, and I feel pretty good. I think we had our differences, but I think all around, I'm taking my gut on the Chargers, and I like that team a lot. I think they're going to do some damage. I think Zach Wilson is going to make or break where the Jets go. I don't think the Jets make the playoffs. I think they're not even close to making the playoffs. But he's going to change. He's going to decide where we go and how far we go. If we win 2 games, he's not the quarterback. Giants, great draft by your new GM and new head coach. They got to rebuild. It sounded like they wanted to trade Kadarius Toney, because that wasn't their pick. You just gotta go and follow these guys. These guys they're ready. Yeah, you gotta ride them because this is a good GM and a good head coach.
I don't see them doing anything this year. Even if they get a great quarterback next year, I don't see them doing anything. Next year, the following, because that quarterback probably needs to develop. Very rarely a quarterback will come in on first year and start lighting things up. They need that year to develop, or maybe he'll be sitting. I don't know what they're gonna do but they have to get a quarterback next year. I'm just saying they have to because I don't believe in Daniel Jones.
Now listen, if Daniel Jones was to do something crazy, it will have to be this year because, like I said, they didn't exercise his 5th-year option. So the Giants told him, "We're not giving it to you because you don't deserve it. So you need to prove to us that you want to be the franchise quarterback. This is his season. That's it. No more."
And if the Giants don't want him, then if he wants another team to grab him, then he has to prove something for that as well.
Yep, and then I have to prove something. But listen, that's our predictions. And you know what? I think that's a wrap. We really stuck hard into this basketball and football for the first time, and it felt good talking football. I love football. The very next podcast, we're gonna go deep and dive into the Yankees and the Mets, who are both amazing, 2 top dogs in New York. Beautiful teams. They're both doing great.
Running the MLB right now.
We're Yankees fans right now, but I cannot discourage what the Mets are doing. They're playing great. They're just built different, and I think Met fans should be excited. Don't be scared. They should be excited for this team because they could do a good run. You know, still early, but let's see how it goes. So I think it's over. I think it's all over. I think the podcast, I think our episode's over with. So thank you for everyone joining us here today. We will be back. We will hit the scoreboard. We're gonna hit your all your notifications, all your social media. Help us out. Spread the word. JNC Podcast will be back. This is from you, Christopher, Jacob, and Christian, who couldn't be here. We are all here. We'll see you next time on JNC's Podcast. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Woo!